Hello everybody, Pockets here, back again playing some more EVE Online, continuing our career agent missions with Cassandra. Once again, if you're liking this series, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, really helps out the channel, so I appreciate it. We're going to grind through as much of this business career as we can. I'm going to save the advanced military career for the end because it's kind of my favorite part. So we're going to save that for the end, and that's when we'll redeem this destroyer as well. It's going to just sit there and wait for us. Alright, let's just get right into it, see what they're going to offer. I can talk while we're doing it. If I remember correctly, this has a lot of hauling involved, so we'll probably put that Neuros to use, depending on what they're going to have us carry around. Here's a mission. Need someone to safely transport these documents. We're going to go from here to Toulouse, which is next door. Set destination and accept. We're going to just use this because it'll be quicker to use a frigate than to use any sort of hauler, and we probably don't need the room. The data sheets go in the cargo. Data sheets go in the cargo hold. Don't forget that. It's on dock. We've already set our destination. We're good to go. We're getting off to a rolling start. I'm really excited to get through the career agents. Once again, I do highly recommend, especially for brand new players, once you've done the tutorial, do at least one set of the career agents. Okay? You do them because it gives you a bunch of ships. It'll get you set up. Let's go into travel mode because there's lots of people here. Well, that's a nice clean tab, shows just sort of the traveling thing. So we have all these probes and people and all that showing up on this standard one. So we go to travel fit and we only see what we need to. Now don't stay here if you're in dangerous space. You need to know if someone's trying to kill you. But in a situation like that, it's okay. That's what that tab is for. Yeah, get it. You get a bunch of stuff. You get some skill books. You get some ships. Once you're all done and you're setting up for your missions, you can haul all that to your location. If you happen to lose a ship because you make a mistake, you have some extra hauls. You can sell them. I mean, you can already see we're getting a decent... I mean, 6 million ISK is a pretty good frigate for running level 1 missions. We can set ourselves up pretty nicely for that. This business career agent is the boring one because it's mostly just moving stuff around. I think that might do some industry in it as well. We'll see how it's changed because they have changed some of the missions. My OCD is getting to me, these little red spots. My phone does it to me. I actually installed a skin that turns the red dots blue and it doesn't bother me quite so much. But I've been like trained to click on these red dots and deal with them. This one's going to have to stay here. I'm not redeeming that until we get to our mission because then I don't have to move the destroyer. They were going to give us a catalyst as part of the... Probably a catalyst as part of the agent anyway. So once again, if you're jumping in just sort of in the middle of this series, I am currently burning through the career agents, doing a whole new character as if I'm a new player. So I'm trying not to use ISK-based resources from outside the game. I'll take skins and stuff from my Omega, from Kel, if I want to use a skin, but I'm not going to do that too much until I know what ships I'm flying. And what we're doing is we're going to go from the career agents and just kind of a playthrough, not even a tutorial, but more of a playthrough on how to kind of transition to various activities within EVE. So starting with career agents, and then we're going to do like... Set our destination now. We're going to go from career agents, and then we're going to do level 1, 2, and 3 missions, and in there we're also going to sort of work... I thought I clicked on dock already. I'm just going to kind of put this back into where it belongs, since we're not scanning anymore. I'm rolling into level 1 missions, level 2 missions, level 3 missions, and it's kind of that path as a Galente. I already did it once as a Mimitar. That Mimitar character was planning to go to level 4 missions. Alphas can't do level 4s anymore, so we're going to do level 3s, which means we're probably going to get into a Myrmidon. It's probably where I'm going to head. Brudix can do them as well, but I like drones and I like the Myrmidon, so we're going to do that. We're also going to do other high-sec and even some low-sec things probably, so we're going to do some exploration, we're going to do some combat sites, so we're going to try to get some escalations, you know, running, if you know what they are, the hydroponics bays and stuff like that, as an alpha, just kind of what a high-sec income source would look like for an alpha. I'm also going to, like, you know, we'll fit up some Algoses and go on low-sec fleets. We're going to Mauro and Aderon. I may join some of those fleets, which would be a lot of fun, but just play it as a pure alpha. Try to get our income source set up. As an alpha, the most expensive thing we're probably going to buy is our battle cruiser, our Myrmidon, for running level 3 missions. And probably whatever cruiser we land on for the combat missions, I'll probably do a Vexor. Eventually, one day, maybe way down the line, we'll get into a Gila just because it's kind of king at doing high sec. Well, king at high sec for sure for combat sites. We can fit that up to do all the combat sites and also hacking and scanning. If we can scan things down, and if we want to run the data sites, we can refit to whatever we need. So we'll probably end up in a Gila in the very, very far end. Although I could be convinced to go the go to the Sisters route and get a Stratios. Let me know what you think. In fact, probably just go Stratios. Heal is the easy answer. So that'll kind of be our end game, is getting to Astero and Stratios. But again, they're expensive ships for high sec. You really don't need to go there. You can fit real cheap cruisers to do most of what we're going to do. So that is going to be the first step, is getting into that. So we're going to accept this balancing the books. I guess I forgot to go out there, find whatever remains of the ship, and use the salvage module. Okay, so they're going to teach us how to salvage. So this is awesome. Last time I was on an invasion fleet, I was flying in one of Ash's fleets on his stream, and we didn't have any salvagers, so I docked my Brutix Navy up, got into a Noctis, and salvaged for them. Salvaging is harder than shooting. Being a DPS is pretty easy. But trying to be on top of the salvage so that you're done about the same time that your fleet is done shooting. Hope we don't have to scan anything. I don't think we do. To be honest, keep one gun. We're in the tutorial, so this is easy. I just want to ungroup it. Yes. We're gonna put that probe launcher back on. This is not how you would fit this ship. Just so you know, this ship is not done for exploration. This is a drone ship. We'll see that. This will probably be something. We may use one of these as our level 1 ship. Level 1 missions. But we'll probably just go to an Algos, to be completely honest. But this is your drone frigate boat. So you can see our salvager here. And our railgun up there. Salvager here. I tried to undock. There's our railgun down here. And there'll be a salvager somewhere else, right? Doesn't really matter. We're going to go salvage the wreck and get the black box. They're just going to give us a set destination. So we're going to go next door to Loose again. Oh, it's actually more than one jump. Can I hide this? Yeah, it's 3 jumps back up there. Yeah, no, I'm good. We're going to grind through this. So another tip for new players. I forget what I was saying the last time. It was a while ago. I was talking about your ships are ammo. So lose ships. It's part of the fun. Don't fit all your expensive module on a ship just for no reason. If you want to go see what's happening in low sec, why aren't we jumping the gate? Can we jump the gate? Yeah, don't be afraid to lose it. Now, some tips. This little guy right here, step 1. This is your safety. If you don't want to lose your ship, turn this to green. It's gonna warn you before you do anything risky. It may not even let you do certain things. Okay, if we click on this, we can go partial safety, which allow us to go suspect. So in high sec, that'd be thing like shooting a can or an MTU. Anything that's criminal but not going to get Concord called on you to get your shot. So these are things that you can do, but going criminal allows other people to shoot at you. So if you shoot someone's can, they can shoot back at you. Red means you can do whatever you want. This is what you have to go to shoot another player in high sec. If you do that, if you get red, Concord's going to come and shoot you and take your ship away. They're not going to stop you from doing it. If you can kill them before Concord gets there, good for you. But the other thing is, when you're warping around, this is relatively new in the last couple of years, when you select a gate, you're going to see a number. Anything from 0.5 and up will be green and blue. Those are high sec systems. You're relatively safe aside from ganking. If it is less than 0.4, so if you're down or 0.4 or less, that is low sec and down into null sec. Null sec will be 0.0. So anything between 0.1 and 0.4 is low sec. When in low sec, you can be shot by people. I mean, there's other mechanics. We're not talking about those. If you go there, you can and probably will get shot. Don't do that if you don't want to lose your ship. However, if you want to go shoot people, fit up a ship, go down there and shoot them. It's highly recommended. It's a lot of fun. Just remember, ships are ammo. You are going to lose it. Right now, I could lose this ship. There could be a gate camp waiting here. 1 or 2 people with high DPS ruptures with instant locking. They could catch me before I get away from the gate and blow me up if they wanted to. As soon as you undock, consider your ship dead. Continuing on from 2 videos ago. That's a callback. It's not what I meant to talk about. Alright, here we go. But yeah, run these missions. We're going to... Again, since there's a new series, if you go here and you don't see the warp to location, you can just click on here to hide it and it brings it back up. It's just a loading issue. You can also just right click. It'll be in here under Agent Missions. Another little trick. We won't do it here actually, but I'll show it to you. If you're going to a site, if there's a gate, a lot of times when you warp to those sites, you can actually end up tangled in the model of the gate. So if you know you're warping to a gate, here's a little trick. If you find your character, here she is right here in one of the chat rooms, you right click and form fleet with, you're going to go into a fleet all by yourself. You can close that window, you don't need it. Here's a trick. If I go here now, I can warp fleet to within 10 kilometers. So let's just do it. It'll be funny because we're probably going to end up away. Now, if there's a gate, we're going to be 10. We're not going to be 10. We're going to be 10 kilometers away from the center of the gate, but we'll still be within range to activate the gate within the 2.5 kilometers. That's an old faction warfare thing. That's how you warp to combat complexes in faction warfare. That way you don't get tangled in the structure and you can immediately activate the gate. Now, we're probably going to actually be really far away from our little wreck that we have to salvage now. But that's a nice little trick. So form a fleet with yourself. Oh, it is a gate. So you'll see we're going to land within the ring, but we're not going to land right inside this structure and have to worry about it. So we can just activate the gate. It's what's called gate sliding in faction warfare. It's coming back. I don't know if they fixed that yet. I'll have to look. It got taken away by accident. But they're supposed to be bringing it back. It was called gate sliding, so you could actually get into the complex before someone outside the complex could shoot you. This is our civilian ship. There's probably a wreck. We're probably going to salvage this. So we're going to orbit this. I didn't bring any drones. What? Okay, well, that's fine. We're just going to have to do it this way. I didn't bring drones in a drone ship, guys. Remind me when we get back to base to put drones in my drone ship. I targeted the wreck. That's okay. So we're just going to do both. We don't need this stuff anymore. We're going to kind of refit this. That and that. What's our range? Our range is within 6 kilometers. And then, yeah, so we can start shooting him at 6. So we're just going to go and orbit this can. We'll see if this pirate comes at us. He's in range. Let's start shooting him. We should be okay. We'll find out. Yeah. And the salvager range is 5 kilometers, so we can start salvaging this wreck. You can see there's our salvage beam. We're going to sit there and just chew away at this wreck. There's some loot. Some metal scraps. We don't want those. And then it's just going to, much like mining, every time this cycles, but with this, every time it cycles, there's a chance that you suck up the wreck. So there we failed. So we got to get into the cycle. If it succeeds, the wreck goes away. And away we go. I had a real good idea what I was going to talk to in this episode, and then I started recording and I forgot. I think maybe I should start taking notes. That might be a thing to do. So the other thing we could have done is we could have had multiple salvagers. There we go. So we salvaged it. Typically, you don't actually have to loot salvage. It just sucks the salvage into your hold, but that's okay. So there's the refresh, set destination, jump the Stargate, and we'll go. All right. I really should start doing show notes. I keep losing my train of thought. So second, that's what it was. Second piece of advice for new bros. Do not be in a hurry to get to the big ships, okay? We're kind of going to sort of speed through some things as we're on our way to getting to level 4 missions. I'm going to do that because I kind of know some things. But you can do a lot of fun stuff in a frigate, okay? You can train a fair amount of frigate skills in an alpha before you hit that 5 million skill points. You can do PvP. You can do a lot of high-sec stuff. You can do fleet stuff. The main reason to go up is for missions. We don't need to go to battleships for level 3 missions. You can do them in a battlecruiser. What's that get us? Well, that battlecruisers use the same weapon systems as cruisers. They just have more ship. They're more tank. They're more DPS. That sort of thing, right? So don't be in a rush to get to battleship. Your battleship isn't going to be the most important ship in your fleet, especially as an alpha. There are things you can do in a battleship that are awesome and fun, but bigger isn't always better. A team of frigates can take down a battleship. Hell, one frigate can take down a battleship if it's moving fast enough and can hit hard enough to outpace its tank, right? So don't be in a rush. I'd highly recommend staying in the frigate until most of your frigate and support skills are at 4. So we're talking things like getting, if we look at the skills, get your frigate to 4. So let's get this all the way to the max. You can train destroyers that use the same gun system, so getting this to 4 is not a bad idea either, because then you can do some other things. There's not a lot of PvP to do in most destroyers, but you can do that if you'd like. Get your ship command skills up to at least 3, right? We have all these navigation skills. Get these as an alpha. Your maximum's 3. Get those maxed out. Evasion will make you more evasive, make you harder to hit, right? So get these up to 3. Get navigation up to 3 or 4. Looks like it starts at 3. More important, engineering skills. Get this maxed out as soon as possible. This needs to be in my queue, like here, right? We'll put it at the end because we have less. So I'm going to throw it at the end of my queue. That's another trick I'll talk about. Remind me. Get this up. Get your capacitor manager to 4. Get weapons upgrades to 5 as soon as possible. Power grid to 5 as soon as possible. These are key skills that are going to affect every ship you fly. CPU management is going to give you 5% bonus to CPU output per skill level. So when you're fitting a ship, your CPU level, that's going to increase that. You can fit more things on your ship, right? Same with power grid management. That's going to increase your power grid by 5% per level. Get that maxed out. Weapon grid, 5% reduction in the skill for CPU needs for weapon turrets. Every weapon turret has a CPU need, and as you get stronger guns, it's going to need more CPU. If you're going to fit T2 guns, which are awesome, more CPU. Train this to 5. There's actually an advanced, which is even more important. Once you've trained that to 5, you can do the advanced weapon upgrades, which lowers the power grid requirements of your guns. Right? 5% reduction in CPU for modules requiring electronics upgrades. You know, these are fitting skills. Get these maxed out. The electronics one isn't as big a deal in the most cases, so you could do that one kind of last. Energy pulse you don't need because that's smart bombs. Thermodynamics, get that to 3 at some point. Overheating becomes important, especially in PvP. Leave this one till the end though, because you don't need to overheat for most of what you're going to be doing. This is only if you're going to use cap transfers, so you can ignore that. But these ones that are already here, train them up. Get those maxed out. Get the advanced weapon gains maxed out. There's some other stuff as well. If I remember, I'll put a link to the Magic 15 skill list in the links section down below and on my website. It's a Neve University. That's 15 skills you should train. Most of those you can train to the recommended level as an alpha, right? Get those skills done. Get your gunnery skills or your drone skills, your missile skills, depending on what you're going to use as your primary weapon systems, and your secondary. I highly recommend drones anyway. Drones are awesome. But if you're flying, you know, Amara, get your gunnery skills up, get your drone skills up. If you're Caldari, get your missile skills or your hybrid guns up. That sort of thing. Get your baseline stuff up, and then you can start worrying about the bigger ships. You're going to thank me for it because you're going to have a lot better time. Oh, I should have showed what that was. That's fine. That was just a pop-up because I'm in a fleet asking if I wanted to split the loot. I'm by myself, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, highly recommend just training that Magic 14 as soon as you can. I mean, train the skills you need to do what you're trying to do. Once you're in level 1 missions, you got your gunnery skills healthy, throw in some more of those engineering skills. Mine the ore from it, reprocess. So we actually have to do, I think, the mining and the reprocessing. Though be aware that the reprocessing of ship modules, yeah, okay. I don't think it'll let me pass it in. Let me just see if it'll let me pass it in. No. Mine ore, so. I don't want to mine again. Okay, well, we're going to switch to our other ship. Not like that, over here. But yeah, you will think, oh, they gave us a ship. We're going to use Harvey. So I'll go through the other ship's missions once we're undocked here, the other skills, just so you're continuing it on. Subsystems don't know about it. Shield skills. So, pick a tank and focus on that first. T2 tank is more important to a starting character than T2 weapon systems. Okay, you're going to get 80 to 90% of your efficiency out of meta modules, and we'll talk about meta modules when we get into ship fitting, and T1 stuff. The T2 stuff is advanced. You don't need it to start, and you'll be... Your T2 tank is where it's at. That's where you're going to get the most out of this section. So get your T2 tank up. If you're flying shield ships, start with shields. If you're flying armor ships, then start with armor. Do both on your character. Very good chance that, depending on what you want to do, armor or shields will be better. I intend to get fairly decent tanking skills, both shield and armor, because Malro flies shield and armor fleets for invasions. They alternate, or we alternate, so I want to be able to join for either of them. So definitely recommend getting your tanking skills so you can fit decent T2 tanks. Orbit, lock, let's get our... We'll see if we have to fight drones. I'll pull them out if we need to. I will pull them out anyway. Okay, so that's the next thing. Get your tanking skills up. There's your armor. There's your shields. Again, we can go into details once as we go. I'll talk more about the specifics in these things, but if you're starting out about this time, these are good to know. Depending on targeting skills, these are good, right? Let's max this out. It's 14 hours. Gets us our maximum possible target range. Signature analysis. This affects how fast you can lock a target. Target management. How many targets you can lock. Okay, get these for your alpha maxed out. You can show all skills. There's a lot of things we can get. Like, for example, we can't get a lot of these. So get these maxed out. There's no point not to. Do it. Do it early, and then you don't have to worry about it. This will affect every ship you fly. Using a gunnery system, so hybrids or lasers or whatever they call them, energy weapons, projectiles. Some of these will affect all of them. Let's just do have prerequisites for now. Like controlled bursts, rapid firing, surgical strike, gunnery, motion protection, sharpshooting. That's every gun. Doesn't matter what size. That'll affect every gun you fit onto your ship. Might as well get them at least to 4, if not 5. Okay. Hybrid turrets specifically if you're using railguns and blasters. Okay. Projectile turrets for autocannons and the like. Energy weapons. But these ones that you see light up, other than this one, will affect every gun you put on your ship, so you might as well train them. You get into medium ships, you're still going to use your motion prediction with your turrets. Same thing with missiles. Things like... yeah, see, I'm not training missiles, so I don't have a lot of them, but rapid launch, missile launcher operations, missile bombardment will affect range, missile projection will affect range. So if you're doing missiles, train those as soon as you can, because they're going to affect every missile you put on. Cruise missiles are only for cruise missiles, right? Light missiles are only for light missiles, but rapid launch, target navigation prediction will help you do more damage. Warhead, oh, we did kill him. Look at that, my drones were on it. I wasn't even paying attention because I had them out and set up. Anyways, drones. Drones are going to be used in a lot of ships. Get this skill to 5 ASAP and then train your drone support skills. Don't worry about your light drones to start. Get that to 3 for now. But get your interfacing and sharpshooting and durability. Get those trained up. And so on down the line. There's a whole list. But getting those core skills are going to help every ship you fly, regardless. That is what I meant to do. Another thing I actually meant to talk about. Let's do this. For most skills, except for the ones I specifically mentioned, so CPU management and these skills in here, we just gotta make sure we mine enough ore. It's probably good. Drones are in. Set our destination for home. I'm just doing this way for some reason. Oh yeah, we were in the same system. I thought we flew. I'm distracted. Aside from CPU management, power grid, weapon upgrades, as I said, once you get the advanced, only go to 4. Going from 4 to 5 only gives you 20% of the effect of that skill. So you have 5 levels of skill. Each skill gives you 20% of that skill's benefit. Right now, we're getting 15% of the possible 25%. When we get to skill level 4, which is 3 days in this case, it's not a great skill to look at it with, but let's look at gunnery. This is what reminded me. So right here, rapid firing. If we can do gunnery, here we go. Sharpshooting. There's a good skill. Right? So it's going to take us 14 hours to get to 3. It's probably going to take us 1 day to get to 4. And then it's going to take us 9 days to get that last skill. It's going to take us 9 days to get the extra 20%. So you're going to get 80% of your effectiveness at 4. So get most skills to 3 or 4, and then leave them there until you're ready to really push through to the next level. Okay? Your ship skills. That's a good one to look at. Can I please dock? I said dock. I don't know why I didn't do it. So, Galente Frigate. Why am I being silly? So we're going to spend 3 days to train the level 4. That's going to get us 80% of that ship's bonuses. Okay, so when we look at the ship, like the Tristan, right? 7, so this isn't because these are math, 10% bonus to drone hit points and tracking speed. At level 4, we're going to get 40%. Okay, that next skill, we train 9 days, 10 days, whatever it is, to get an extra 10% hit points and damage. So it's not as big a jump. Getting it to 4 is usually pretty reasonable. Getting them to 3, there's no reason not to. Now, alphas have a lot of skills they can only go to 3 on, and that's fine. Get those to 3. But in this case, Glente Frigate, train it to 4. There's no reason not to. 3 days, we're going to get an extra 10% damage. That means 40% tracking, which means our drones are going to hit easier. Same with Destroyer, right? Anyways, so train them to 4. Don't worry about 5s unless there's a reason to, or it's something critical, right? So guns. You can do a lot of damage with the metas. Once you train to 5, you can fit T2 guns for lights and mediums. So that's fine, but until you're really ready to do T2 guns, leave it at 4. Train it to 5, because once you get to 5, you also have to train specialization skills. You got to refit all the ships. You may not be able to fit T2 guns because your fitting skills aren't there yet. So that's what I'm trying to say. This is, again, had a long conversation about skill training recently with a newbro, so it's fresh in my mind, ready to go. We are going to do another mission. What did they give us? They gave us something. Okay, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk to the dude. So yeah, this will be the halfway mark. So we'll do this mission, and then we'll probably hold off. The Serpentis Corporation have a listening post nearby where they intercept information. Vessels, I want you to destroy the post and any Serpentis Corporation ships you see. I also want you to use your data analyzer to crack open the can. Okay. So we're going to fit up our Tristan for this one. Where are you, Tristan? Beep boop. But yeah, we're going to go into fitting as we start fitting up for missions and stuff and talk about that a little more, but we don't need this. We don't need this. Oh, we need a hacker. We don't need this. Do we have any tanking modules? Go ship modules? Not really. We're not in the combat mission. We're going to get those actually. Are they fit? Do we have another ship fit up? I thought we repackaged everything. Yeah, we repackaged everything, so we just don't have it. Okay, that's fine. We can make this work. We'll use the afterburner, and we'll use those so we'll speed tank because we're going to use drones. Is that a low slot? Tracking enhancer? For drones? Sure. We can't actually use it because we need drone sharpshooting 1. Okay. Nope, this is about right. We're going to put the other railgun on. That one's already packed. I'm going to put the unpacked one. And we're going to fill it with ammo. And we're going to call it a day. We need drones. Harvey, how many drones do you have? Can we have them? You have 2. Do we have any other drones? We do not. So let's go to the market. Let's see if anybody's stocking drones in this place for us. So again, this is why you get your drones to 5, so you can fly the full 5 light drones as early as possible. Why am I doing that? Let's just go Hob. Goblin. Hobgoblin 1s. The other next thing I would do is, especially because we're going to be using drones a lot. Oh, right here they have some. They're cheap too. So let's grab 3 of those. So this is somebody stocking the starter system with stuff people need, which is awesome. It's actually a player, probably 99.99% chance. We can look at it, I suppose, and figure it out. But I'm not a market expert. But they're bringing drones here to sell to players, or they're building them here. So that's pretty cool. All right, so we have our full flight of drones. The other thing I intend to do, next, is get to T2 drones, because again, T2 drones are going to be used on every ship. T2 light guns are only going to be used on light ships, frigates and destroyers. But your except for one specific case, we're not going to talk about it. T2 light drones can be used all the way up to battleship, depending on what you're doing. So getting your drone skills to T2, we're going to get our mediums all the way up to T2. That's going to be a focus, because that's where about 90% of our effectiveness is going to come from. And we are now set up to fight some pirates, so that's awesome. We've got our railguns. We're going to probably reload, because I probably didn't put ammo in the one railgun. Oh, it did. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. This is just, we're kind of speed tank. Warp to location. And yeah, so I'll get you the Magic 15. Train most skills up to 3 or 4. And then start kind of deciding where you need T2. T2 tank, T2 drones are a good idea for almost any race. Because you're always going to probably bring drones with most ships. Not all, but most. And just getting your core skills, getting your gunnery skills up so that every gun you has... Oh, see, this is where we're going to probably get... Could have got tied up in the structure. I should have warped at 10 to it. But we got it. We got lucky. Let's see how... This won't be hard at all. These guys are going to be pretty easy. I'm probably overthinking set up for it, but pretty exciting. So we're going to be done the business, which means we're going to just do the final 2. Put these in my bag. This is the storage container. Orbit that. Shoot this guy, and we're going to hack that guy. Now we're going to multitask here. So we've got our orbit. We're going to put our afterburner on. Got this guy targeted. Going to get our drones on him. With the drones out, have your target selected, hit F. We'll have them attack your target. And we're shooting out to 6 kilometers. And that was easy. And then this guy's in range, so let's start hacking. Now I'm going to keep an eye on my overview. We're going to go to combat. Oh. I have that because of blitzing, but we're going to take them off again. And now we're going to watch. We have our drones out, so if something does show up, they're going to get on it. And we're going to start looking. So 4 is definitely not here, but it could be up this way. So we're going to kind of peek our way up here. So within 2, go this way. Within 1, within 2. So probably here. See that? Because it was in the 2 of these and within 1 of those. Now this could have been an antivirus. You can see we have 10 damage because we're not flying a bonus ship. So there we go. And because we're orbiting close, we'll get our data. That's loot. There we go. Let's recall our drones. Shift R recalls the drones. Or you can right click on them. Or you can circle menu. I gotta fix my radio menus on this account. Or you can right click, recall drones, which is a lot harder. The other thing you do is circle menu, right? So there's our engaged target. Or we can go plus, return to drone bay. Okay, right now I'm getting to that by holding left click. I usually actually set it to right click because it's silly that it's on there. To do that, go into your menu, go into your general settings. No, yeah, right here, radio menu. Switch it to right mouse button. You can set your delays however you want. Is the first thing we're going to set up. So now I can hold left click on my ship all I want, but as soon as I hold right click, I get a radio menu and I can do all sorts of things. Right? So I can set my orbit. The radio menu is fun. I'm going to try to get used to doing that. Ash keeps yelling at people because radio menu is king. And it really is. I thought I was already traveling, but I wasn't. Yeah, so I could, right click on here and loot if it was already being looted, but it's not lootable. Right click on here, I can set, a bookmark. I can look at my ship. I can stop my ship. And it's nice because it's literally just end up. Done. Right? Stopped. Set orbit. I want to go this way. 10 kilometers. There. Right? Warping to within. Set default orbit. Or to orbit the thing at. Right? Like, once you get used to it, it's really quick.
Permission requested.
So you'll see me trying to play with that more as I remember. The other really cool thing, this may not be for new bros, but actually I'm not even going to say it because it's not for new bros and this is a new bro series. I will say it later. I'll show it in some series where it matters. But yeah, radio menu is fun. Set that to your right mouse button though because it gets in the way sometimes when you're trying to click things. Alright, how are we doing? Should be finished now, right? Complete. Complete mission because I'm in a fleet still. Oh no, we're halfway. Right. So it wants us to I want you to safely ferry it to her. Okay, so we're going to take this encoded data link to this person, and then we're going to call this episode done. And that is, 5 jumps away. So, I'm going to accept this mission. I'm going to go to my cargo. I'm going to put the encoded data chip into my ship. And I'm going to fly there and hand it in, and then we're going to call it a day. I'll be right back. Okay, well, while we're flying to hand this in, we're like 3 jumps out. I figured I would talk about the Magic 14. Now, I think earlier when I was talking about skills, I said Magic 15. It's 14. Magic 14. Let me just get... So here it is. eveuniversity.org/themagic14. And you can read all this. They go through all the information. Like, this is your timing multiplier, so it determines how long it takes to train, how much the skill book's going to cost, if you need to buy it, and what it does. But what we're interested in, you can skip this. This is if you want to set an attribute remap. I don't mess with this too much. Although, obviously switching it to intelligence and memory would be good. But I don't mess with that too much anymore. It's just too much hassle. They have importable skill plans, but we don't want that because as an alpha we have a daily limit. So if we just me scroll all the way down here to Alpha Clone. These are the Magic 14 to train as an Alpha, not including the ones we already have. And you literally just queue them up, right? So if I wanted to do this, instead of what I'm doing, which I'm kind of doing this for now, but I will do this. Oh, so do in this order. CPU management to 5, okay. Go to the engineering, CPU management to 5, and it's already in there. This is kind of the order you should train them. So CPU management, power grid, capacitor management, capacitor systems operation. So these ones are going to be your fitting. This is for your actual capacitor, so you don't run out of capacitor when you're shooting. Mechanics upgrade is going to let you fit better armor tank, so this is going to be key to getting T2 armor. Hull upgrades will also let you fit some really important things like T2 damage controls, that sort of thing. If I remember correctly, you might be able to fit them. You actually might be able to fit them at 4, but we can check. We go here. So just for example, damage control. Right? Go to fitting, damage control, hardware, damage control, T2 damage control, requirements. I'll upgrade 4. So yeah, you could actually do that with 5, but you know, you can look up what does mechanics get me. Let's close this. Mechanics will let me have, not mechanics, hull upgrades. 5% bonus to armor hit points per level. And it starts at 1 or 2 or 3 depending on race, blah, 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 blah. Clone them at 5. So it gives you the armor bonus. So again, fitting those tanks, getting as much tank as you can, because that's going to be critical for you. And again, I do suggest training both tanks. Just do it. Because eventually you're going to want to fly something that has the other tank, and you're not going to have the skills, and you're going to be annoyed. Especially if you're training hybrid turrets. Let's look at it that way. As a general rule, if you're playing hybrid turrets, first thing you're going to do is you can also train Caldari and Galente because they both use hybrid turrets. However, hybrid or Galente are armor tanking and Caldari are typically shield tanking. So also training Galente and Caldari ship skills gives you access to more pirate ship options, right? A lot of the pirate ships are either Galente, like Galente and Caldari. So if we look at Garistas, you know, who are they? Well, they're Galente and Caldari. If you train your Galente frigate and your Caldari frigate skills, you can fly the Worm. Cruiser, battleship. Serpentis. It's also... Oh no, not Serpentis. Mordu's Legion is also Galente Caldari. So you get access to 2 different pirate factions. And the rest of them, you know, here's Amar Caldari. Here's Amar Mimitar. There's Mimitar Galente, right? You see what I'm saying? There's Galente Amar. So there's 2 pirate factions that give you... So training for hybrid turrets, drones, and both types of tank, that gives you both the Caldari ships, the Galente ships, and 2 sets of frigate pirate ships you can fly. That's a pretty sweet deal if you're not specifically going for something. Now, King for high sec, for the type of stuff we're going to be doing, would be going... Why did I say Serpentis? It's Garistas. And getting the Gila. The Gila is like the king of high sec PvE. Does everything you need it to do. It's a very good ship. I'm probably actually going to go this route eventually because of the drones. And I'm going to get the Astero and Stratios. Only because I really like the ship and I don't often have reasons to fly it. And we can set it up to work just fine in high sec as a drone boat. So we'll see as we go, but there you go. So training those core skills and then getting your tank skills, and then you can worry about what you're going to do. It opens up the options. You can train whatever races frigates you want, fit them up, and go have some fun. Some minor training. I do see a lot of people who struggle because they didn't train those core skills and they want to jump into something and they can't fit it, or they have to train armor tanking skills for it. So definitely look at that. I know I rambled a lot about skills. It's been on my mind a lot the last little while because I've been talking to a lot of people about training and skills, and I know the Magic 14 aren't the most exciting skills because they're not giving you new things, but you will think before having them. You'll thank Eve University for supplying the information, giving you the list, because when you need them, that's when you have a ship you're trying to fit to do something exciting and it doesn't work. That's my final thoughts. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I didn't ramble too long. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Once again, if you think I should just do like a primer for newbros video talking about, you know, how to approach it and what skills, let me know. I'll start getting some ideas and we can make that video happen. If you have some suggestions that I missed, or if I said something wrong, definitely let me know. I definitely don't want to be giving out bad information, so if I misquoted something or I said something wrong, definitely let me know. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That helps get the video out there to other people, gets the channel some more views, more notice, and gets me out there and helps me out a great deal. I appreciate it. As always, thank you for watching, and take care of each other. I'm out of here. See y'all next time.